And there we are live.
Okay.
What up,
Wait, wait, wait,
peeps?
wait, wait, wait. I'm not ready though.
Oh, well, we're live.
Yeah.
Surprise!
Getting
Surprise!
my lucky
Yeah.
minute. Okay.
Hey, everyone.
Mums, it's your channel.
Yeah, I'm checking out the
Okay.
stream. Time to get. No, friend, sorry. You're in the wrong stream for that, dude.
Okay. Um.
So
Mums,
cute. What up, what
thank
up?
you. Thank you for being so awesome that we can use your channel for this podcast.
Of course.
Really,
of
really
course.
much appreciated.
No problem.
And then hopefully this will be a movement in the right direction for our group. So, thank you for that.
Awesome. I
Um,
think it's going to be a good topic to talk about, and we're finally speaking about it.
yeah, like I
After
say,
like how
every
long?
Yeah.
okay. So those of you guys who already know Mums, that's Mums.
What
I
up?
am, yeah, really an amazing lady. My name is Midnight Ray. I am basically a CSGO noob, and recently, due to cyberbullying, I wanted us to start to speak about cyberbullying and what the effects are. So that's why I have these lovely ladies with me.
Hey guys, just let me know if the audio is a
that
bit better.
all
Sorry.
said they will participate. We're going to speak a bit about what uh, they, as female gamers, have already experienced, how they overcame it, and what impact it actually had in their lives. And then just general at this stage, general cyberbullying that we're also going to talk about. So thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to start the introductions first with Flower.
Man, you're putting me on the spotlight first. I see you.
You with your Word
So
document.
I'm Flower. I don't like this. Anyway, I'm Flower. I've been gaming since I was 13 years old, and I've been playing CS:GO competitively for a year and a half now. And I'm here to share my story from being a female gamer in the South African gaming community. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you, Flower. So cute. Next introduction. Sam, if we can proceed with yours.
So my name is Sam. I'm also known as Tech Girl online. I play games. I'm just not very good at them, so I commentate on people playing games instead.
Oh my word. Okay, don't believe that at all. Don't believe that at all. I've seen her streams. It's insane. So
You're probably watching my friends play when I'm dead, but it's okay. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take it.
no, it's definitely you. Okay. And then Severe. Severe.
Yeah. Hello. um, hi, Severe. If like, I play CS. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I'm here to just talk about my experiences being in the scene, and obviously, if anyone's been around for past 2 years, you've heard a thing or two. So, there we go.
Yeah, we are not all just gamers. We are actually, or two of you, I don't know about Flower or Yulia, but two of you are actually streamers as well. So you guys don't just get bullied by like in-game people when you play. You get actually bullied by your viewers as well. That's on a whole nother level. But yeah, if we can maybe get the first lady, Flower, I'm going to put you again on the spot. If we can get your experience
Alright.
first, please.
So basically, well, the way I see it, basically, if you're like a female gamer, there's some people that would, well, newest terms would be simp over you, and there's other people that would be like attacking you for just being a female gamer and all that. So it'll be the usual, like slut shaming and calling of like saying you're a whore and a slut and all those type of stuff. And that's like the most common ones. But then you also get like random ones where people would stalk you in a way that they find out, say, your Instagram or all that, and then they attack you personally about things about you. So I think we can all agree that's happened to most of us here.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. So yeah.
Yep. And if I may ask, Flower, like, does that have any, or did that have any impact on you, physically, mentally, like,
Emotionally.
how did you, emotionally,
I mean,
how?
It gets to you when it first happens. Like you would be, say, sad, and you would start to believe all the stuff that they're saying and all of that. But it's never really gotten at a point where, you know, I would do something impulsive or something.
Mm.
I would usually just message Mia and be like, this happened, and then Mia would be like, who is that? I'll fuck them up or something, you know. So that occasionally makes it better.
Yeah. I'm very glad to hear that you actually, so that is how you overcome it, is
Yeah.
with friends.
Mm.
I must say, I think if you have the right support structure, then it's fantastic to have the right support structure, because of like, if these types of thoughts linger in your head, especially if they get even more personal, then it literally it can
It eats you.
snowball. Yeah,
Mm.
it can
Mm.
snowball.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, now I have a question for all of the ladies, something that Flower has now mentioned. How do you ladies feel about simping?
Can I just say that I hate that word, and I find it like, I'm just gonna jump
Yeah.
in here. I'm gonna be pretty outspoken. You guys asked me to come on here. Good luck.
Go for it. Go
I'm
for
so-
I
it.
like
I'm
that.
Go
so
go
That's
for it.
for a reason.
This term is disgusting to me, and I'll explain why. Because it's a recent term, and it's basically used when men in the community stand up and say, actually, your behavior is unacceptable. Then they're simps.
Yeah.
Or men that are just polite, and then it's, oh, you're a simp.
And respectable.
And respectful.
Yeah.
And I understand the concept of white knighting, and I know that everyone gets guns thrown at them in CS or whatever. But the truth of it is, I think that the term simp has been turned into this really ugly connotation. And I do blame some of the big streamers and the big YouTubers for doing it. But it kind of insinuates that if you're just a respectful person and treat me like a human being,
Yep.
instead of being they refer to them as simps, insinuating that because I have boobs, I get treated a certain way, but they're treating me exactly the same way they treat their friends.
Exactly.
I think it's a horrible term, and I
Yeah.
really do think it just continues to feed the rubbish that we as women have to deal with online. And I really wish, and I know I'm guilty because I use it sometimes, because you get so used to the culture of everyone dropping it, so you make jokes and you start saying it, but I've had to like consciously tell myself not to use that word, because it's not a great word. I'm gonna also, just because there's gonna be a random man walking behind me the whole way through this. My boyfriend and I do share a space. If you watch my streams, you've seen him. He's going to work now, so you're just gonna see his head pop up every so often. But he does bring me coffee, so I can't
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to get my own. Okay, my family is probably watching this. This is not a dragon. Not a
It's not
dragon.
an energy drink. But yes, back to the conversation.
Yes.
I just think simping is a horrible word, and I think that
Mm.
it's
It is.
used. I mean, cool. So someone treats you like a normal human being and is respectful to you, therefore simp. I just
No,
think
I
it's-
completely
we need to
agree.
kill that.
Yeah,
Agree.
no, I
Can
completely
we just also
agree.
state that, like, literally the dictionary, like in the dictionary, or if you go Google the meaning of simping is when a guy continuously tries to get with a girl when he's not getting any attention.
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean,
Yeah,
there's a
but
difference between a guy who's just like constantly trying to get out of the friend zone and whatever. Like, I understand it's simp and
yeah,
whatnot, but when it's just a guy showing basic human decency towards a woman,
it gets,
it
yeah,
becomes
yeah,
annoying because the only
something.
reason they get called simps is because it's noticeable because no one's treating us like trash.
yeah,
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no, I completely agree. And Sam, thank you for sharing that because it's actually a very, very, very good point. 'Cause, Um, like I've been in games today. I've solo queued so many times today. Oh my word. I've been in so many games today, and then I actually get anxious when someone asks me, wait, are you a 13-year-old boy or are you actually a girl?
What an
Um,
old line. What an old
First of all,
fucking
Guys,
line.
Hey,
quick
and
we're all
then
question:
playing
is
the
the
games.
audio
Why does
still
it matter?
fine?
exactly. And I get anxious because what do I answer now? Because if I lie, which I hate doing, but if I lie, it's yeah, dude, you're trash. If I say I'm a girl, then it's either guys that's like, hey, can I get your number? Yeah, and then
mm,
or the other part is, oh shit, yeah, we're going to lose. Just
Yeah.
surrender. And then it's like,
yeah,
dude,
I've like, I've stopped myself from speaking in games and like an MM or something.
Like on my Smurf, I don't speak because like why would I want
Not even
anyone to
on
tell
my
me
main,
off?
like any account that I'm on, I just don't speak because I know what's gonna happen. It might not always happen, but like I'm
What
preparing
I've
myself for the
noticed is
worst, I
this is
guess.
just something, yeah, personally I've noticed is a lot in like say CS for instance, a lot of the lower ranked men are the more misogynistic ones, like where they'll say go, to the kitchen or whatever, and it just shows like that fragile ego where they're so
Yeah.
scared a female will overtake them that they're just gonna like fuck out.
Yep.
I must say what I have experienced, not many times in my life, because like I say, I play like a bot.
No man.
Once I actually outfragged a group of guys that was extremely, extremely actually sexist. And then they all like told me they reported me because I'm hacking. I'm like, wow.
Mm.
And then the ranks came, and I was like 3 or 4 ranks above them. But now, just because I'm a girl and I'm top of the log, now I'm hacking.
Yeah.
So,
I always used to
but
have the tendency. Sorry, I'm cutting in. Yeah. The tendency to keep quiet until I actually started getting kills, and then when I started getting kills, then I would start
Yes,
speaking
until you in a
because
way
then I'm like,
prove.
yeah, like you know what, I'm on the scoreboard, so
Yeah,
I'm
that's so
fine.
sad.
But if
Yeah, true.
I always I'm very superstitious, very superstitious. So
Mm.
if I spoke before, like if someone I randomly met up in the same lobby with says, "Hey, Mems, it's you," and then I speak and everyone else finds out I'm a girl, then I'm like, "Oh, I jinxed it." Now I'm gonna like bottom frag and, but I don't like that I do that. But it's just become normal to me. So
Yeah.
It's interesting because I never spoke in game for years. I didn't even write about game. When I started content creation, I didn't do gaming for this very reason. I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to get involved in there. I
Yeah.
don't want people to know who I am. So I didn't. So a lot of people, I mean, if you go look when I started content creation, I was playing games, but no one knew that,
yeah.
that I was
Mhm.
a game. I wasn't
yeah,
putting it out there publicly. And then a
Mm.
friend of mine got me writing. And even then, it wasn't something that I advertised that I was doing. I was writing for her magazine.
Yeah.
But even now, and it's interesting because I was reading that, like, I've obviously got the chat open. One of the things that I've noticed that happens, and this is something that we don't talk about enough, is that, and you'll always hear this when these conversations about sort of sexism in game come up, is that people say, oh, but the women are just as bad. I'm not defending. I'm not defending our behavior and saying, oh, we're perfect. But what I will point out is that after a while, when you get shat on so much, and every time you speak, you're either not good enough
Mm.
and you're trash because you're a woman, or alternatively, if you are doing really well, you're hacking because you're a woman.
Yeah.
You eventually become quite, and I've seen it, you become quite aggressive and you
Yeah.
start trash talking because it's easier to be aggressive from the get go to kind of get into that fight and be defensive and kind of come in there and fight,
Yeah.
as opposed to backing off and kind of taking it, if you like. And I do think that also happens. And now you see it a lot where there are girls that I mean, I've played with them. They come into game. I don't know who they are, but they are vulgar. They are rude. They are aggressive from day one. But I honestly am not defending it, but I'm just saying I think it's a defense mechanism because after years of just being told how trash you are, it's far easier to just come out fighting and have everyone back off. And I do think that that's also something that now happens is that we have this really aggressive community of women who are like, I'm going to come in there first and be a
Yeah.
complete arsehole because then everyone will be scared of me and they'll back off.
And
So
they'll
we're
leave
like-
me alone.
And they'll leave
Yeah.
me alone. And that's not
Yeah.
good. I'm not defending it, but I'm saying like I
Yeah.
understand how you get to that point.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually I'm going to be straight up. I actually was like that. Since even in the middle of this year, I was like that, and then something just snapped in me and was like, but I'm part of the problem.
Yeah.
I'm literally a part of the problem. Because us as female gamers get cyberbullied a lot with your go back to the kitchen, go make me a sandwich,
I
or
mean, that's innocent compared to some of the stuff
Cool.
I've heard.
Yeah.
oh, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get different levels.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
you
take the
do.
sandwiches. I really
Okay,
would.
but yeah. But the thing is I don't want to go into the higher levels.
I know, I understand.
Yeah. But the thing is we get like bullied a lot. But if we as female gamers then shit on the guys' heads as well, we are also a part of the problem. We can't be like, yeah, but we're female gamers, you guys should leave us alone, but we can be as hell towards the guys. We
Yeah.
can't do that. And
Look,
that's
we all
why
know like we're not innocent and we're not perfect, but like when we just get attacked for no reason,
yeah.
it's a problem.
Defense mode,
Yeah.
man.
Look, it also like greatly depends on like I feel like who you put yourself around. 'Cause I remember this one time, I'm not going to name names, but I was friends with a very toxic group and I myself became a very toxic person. And like you don't realize that the person you're speaking to actually has emotions and feelings. And as Midnight says, it, like one day it just kind of clicks and you're like, fuck, I'm terrible kind of thing. And you try and make that effort. And like even
Yeah.
though you've done wrong in the past, making that effort is what is like at the end of the day what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Getting
that's why
better.
yeah. So look, all of us as gamers, we rage. We
I
if
get silent
like
when
our
I'm mad.
yeah, I actually do that too, and it's not a very good thing because then it's silent treatment, and then like you get no calls out of me, and then it's like midnight, you're throwing the game, and then I'm like, oh yeah, sorry, and then I try to calm
Put
down.
yourself together.
But metal helps, yes, but metal helps. Believe it or not, metal helps. But
Like the genre.
yes,
Oh.
actually, yeah.
Mm.
That's why I can't play CS without music because I can really, really rage. Mostly at myself for playing trash. But yeah. The thing is we all rage. We are all like there's banter between us and like the guys that we lobby with and all of that. But the problem comes with when you are in a lobby, you're not full stack lobby, and there's one or two randoms. And then because you guys are bantering back and forth because you guys are friends, then all of a sudden it's what I've noticed is it's then kind of seen as, yeah, it's fine if we start trying to banter with the other guys. And they do not perceive it as banter because you can't tell someone, listen here, bro, you're cock, without actually someone taking offense to it. I would, if I didn't know you at all.
If you're just a
lobby.
random person telling me I'm bad, I would obviously take offense because, like, who are you to judge me? You know, you don't even know me.
I think
Yeah.
for me, I've gotten to the point where, okay, if someone is insulting one of my friends or whatever in game, I will be like, dude, just stop. But if they're insulting me, I've kind of gotten to the point where my response in chat will just be, obviously, like just in chat to the enemies or whatever. I'll just say like, I appreciate you. You are loved. You will feel better. Blah 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 blah. And it's super condescending, but they don't carry on after that because they don't get the reaction that they expect and they want.
Yeah.
So I send hearts, I send X's. I'm like, okay.
I always say, I'm
appreciate
the same.
you.
I just reply kisses.
Yeah, like
But I
I've
do
gotten
think-
used to that.
I do think that happens, right? So people do, like, whether you're girls or guys, someone plays badly, someone's had a bad day, someone rants, whatever. Obviously, we're not just talking about CSGO. I play Siege, and that happens all the time where one of us will have a fight or whatever. Someone will play badly and will complain. But I think it's how you do it. So you can make a couple of jokes or whatever, and you can do that, and that's fine. But I think that the real issue is specifically when I open my mouth just to make a call and the response is, and I've seen this, this has not happened to me yet, but I think I'd lose. Actually, it has. I'm lying. It's happened twice. Where I open my mouth, you hear I'm a girl, your team kill me.
Oh, yeah.
or you,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
A
or you
lot.
hear a girl and you immediately
Yeah.
start making those comments. And I think that's really the problem. And also, like what Flower said right at the beginning, we're talking about cyberbullying. This is so much more than just in game, because a lot of this is now, because we're all connected on social media and whatever else, a lot of what's happening is moving off the game itself, where I'm just dealing with a stranger who gives me a hard time because they hear I'm a girl, to now turning into like a really toxic space where they hear a girl, they see an in-game nick, they track her to Instagram, they track her to Twitter, like Flower
Yeah.
said, continue it there. That's creepy, and that's
Yeah.
not normal.
So creepy, dude.
And it happens, and it's not only is it creepy, it gets really like, and I mean, I'm talking now just from, obviously I commentate and I'm shoutcasting for esports stuff. I've had some really horrible things happen behind the scenes, not just with strangers that I'm playing games with, not just people watching the broadcast, but we're talking people in the industry as well. And I think that's really the conversation that has to happen is, are we building a really toxic environment? Does it start in game, or is it the community at large? And how do we fix that for other women who want to play?
Well, I mean, look at it this way as well. Like in CS, I'm obviously again not going to name names, but you can see some of the top players are known as the most toxic people in the scene. Like they will constantly tell people to kill themselves and whatever, just in random MMs. And that's the kind of thing we condone because they're in top teams. We don't ever put them on that spotlight because they're so insanely good or because they're so popular. And I feel like I agree with Sam, people need to be held accountable for that.
I completely agree with you, because the thing
Hey
is,
guys,
and
how you doing?
because they are
for
playing for
joining.
big teams and everything, that's also something that me and Mums and then one other player or gamer actually came up with. It was his idea, and honestly, I think it's a good thing to know about. And
Yeah.
also, I'm going to send the link for this Discord as well. We have platforms here on as well, but where it's a Twitter account where you can literally report a player, doesn't matter who it is, with proof though, with proof, that for them that they were where they were toxic, and the administrator of the of the Twitter account will actually investigate the claims. If the claims are then confirmed, then they will expose it on Twitter and then actually ask the organization that the player is playing for a statement.
So you see, I'm going to be honest, I have a problem with that. And just
Okay.
because I have been on the receiving end of bullshit on Twitter that happens with no proof, where someone is outed and I've watched it happen, or where the war starts on Twitter, and also where sometimes this is investigated and outed on Twitter and nothing happens. Because at the end of the day, social media is just a vacuum. So you shout it out and nothing really happens. Everyone's really upset for 2 days and no one remembers. What I'd really like to see is that account. And I think what the admin is doing is great. What I think should actually happen is it should be a space where we can message with proof and say this has happened, and let that admin take it to the organization's concerned and start a dialogue. But and I mean, Clouds is in the chat saying it's the worst. Twitter's a disaster because it does turn into a he said, she said, nothing ever happens. But if you've got proof and you know who the player is, I really think it needs to be a matter of starting a conversation with the tournament organizers, with the team managers, and saying, guys, listen, this happened. This is the situation. This is your player. And as a mediator, because the moment you as a person go somewhere and complain, like there's an immediate aggressive fight, but being like, this has happened and how do we fix it? I worry about just calling people out on Twitter just because I don't think Twitter does anything. And this is someone, it's just people screaming and shouting and everyone shouts at each other. And in 2 weeks time, no one remembers.
It's just a never-ending like fight happening on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It never stops.
Look at it this way, like I've seen my fair share of Twitter drama, but like ultimately it like all of my Twitter drama just ended with me blocking a whole bunch of people and then blocking me. Nothing ever happened with the orgs. Nothing ever happened like anything legal wise. It just ended in a huge big fight. So
I'd actually like to share a really good example that happened last week, which was there was obviously a lot of players in the Fortnite community got called out on Twitter for being racist with proof. And everyone screamed about it, right? And these players, there was proof. It existed. They were racist. Everyone was retweeting it and shouting. So I have a newsletter that I write with a really good friend of mine, Shani Zede, it's called South African Gaming and Esports. And we just do a weekly newsletter where we update everyone on what's happening on the scene, what the news is. And one of the things about this newsletter is we're really strict that we only report the facts. We don't put opinion in there, nothing. We just say what's happening, link it out. After 3 days of everyone screaming, shouting, losing their minds, people getting blocked, people defending it, people not defending it, all the shouting, everyone going mad. After those 3 days, when I decided to write this article and I approached all the people involved and I said, can you give me the names of the players? The only thing they could give me was their Twitter handles, and their Twitter handles their accounts were shut down. But no one actually knew who these people were. They didn't know who they were in game. They didn't know their names. Everyone was screaming and everyone was coming out saying they are banned from everything and whatever. But when it actually came down to giving us, like for me to be able to report on it and say, this is the player that said this, admitted to it, this is who needs to ultimately be banned. No one knew who it was. And that's what worries me about Twitter, is that idea that like, we'll scream and shout, but no one actually knew who the player was that needed to get banned from tournaments, what their name was even. So I'd love to see, I think that Twitter account is a really good idea, don't get me wrong. But I think rather than calling people out or outing them on Twitter, maybe it needs to be a space where we can start that conversation. And as a community, we can do that, where someone can come to that Twitter account and say, listen, this happened to me. Here's what happened in game. Can you help me? Or here's some of the, I think for me, here's some of the really horrible abuse I'm getting in DM or whatever. Can you help me? And us finding a way to take that and say, okay, let's work together to find not an amicable solution, because I think if someone's caught being a sexist pig, there's nothing amicable about it. But I do think that there can be a conversation, especially if it's someone who's competing. Their organization should be spoken to. And if the organization then turns around and says, I don't care, then fine, then we take it to a larger community. But I do think this doesn't.
That's a very good point, Tiggle. It's really, really a good point. I think we might be able to talk to the administrator of the Twitter account. I think that would be the best way to go about it. I completely agree with you. To rather sort it out and check what the orgs actually do something, because all of the orgs posted we are against racism and we are against
we're against sexism, but I can show you people that work in certain orgs that have been blatantly sexist in this community. It's sexist to me, they've been sexist to the next person, nothing's changing. And this is my thing. I think right now we have these great platforms where we can all stand up and we can say whatever we want, but what are we actually doing to fix these problems? What conversations are actually happening? Why are you not standing up in a game when you hear someone, I don't care if you don't know the goal and if you hear someone going at a goal, whether you're a girl or a guy, I think that you all need to just say, listen, we don't stand for this, and vote kick the person out. Simple as that. We're not going to play with you. That's it. But that doesn't happen. Everyone keeps quiet because no one wants to rock the boat. and that bugs me a lot. I do wish that people would be more vocal, where they say, you know what, and we don't need to scream at someone, we don't need to get aggressive, we don't need to fight, we just say that is not acceptable, we're kicking you out of this lobby. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I must say that is true, but that can actually, that's a start, if I can put it into like that. But like, I mean, even like when you solo queue, you get random people. I'm not even talking about professional players at this stage, because our community, whether we would like it or not, it isn't just with competitive players. It's with players that plays the game that we are gaming. We are gaming. We are, whether you play Counter Strike, Dota, Call of Duty, Fortnite, anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you are instantly a part of this community as soon as you go online. And yes, like I say, it's now a thing of you report someone, you can report their profiles, you can report them on CSGO or other like games platforms, but we all at this stage feel like it's a waste of time. And I'm not discrediting that. I'm not saying you know what, it doesn't even help to report them still, 100%. But
Definitely.
I think as a community we need to change our mindset regarding this, as
Yeah.
if even if it's you mean it as a joke, that you know what, go make me a sandwich, no JK, what that type of mentality is still the problem, because yes, you can make jokes with your friends and everything, but other people don't necessarily see it as jokes. They see it as, you know what, it's okay to say this.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's a shit ton of children in the scene. I mean, like, look at
Mm.
Flower alone. She's 16, and like, now we like also like, you see other people like kids who are 16, 15 in the scene, and they're seeing these 28-year-old dudes like just bully everyone and call out women and all of that, and they're thinking, okay, cool, that's okay. And
Yeah.
it comes into a change of nothing, like as you said, like it feels fruitless to just report them because they can easily just go buy another account
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like they need to change their mindsets. Like there's not enough consequences for cyberbullying in this country, I feel, because ultimately, what they're gonna get a pat on the hand, because I mean, they will
Yeah.
never. No one ever holds him up as well. I mean, look at just situations with people in the past who've been called out for this. It eventually just fades away, and they're allowed to just go on as well.
I think
So
the response for us, not to interrupt you, but I mean, I've got this a lot. I also love how the chat is giving my significant other a hard time for bending over to unplug his laptop. We'll just brush all over that. I think for me, the biggest thing is when people say, "Oh, you must just ignore it." That's just how it is. Just ignore
Just
it.
mute them.
No,
Just
Just
mute them.
don't feed the trolls. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm tired of not feeding them because for some reason they're still making a noise. Like I want them gone.
Yeah.
They
I
are
don't know.
Want them to
getting,
stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
Leave you
they
alone.
aren't starving, they are freaking thriving.
Yeah.
Full
And I
on.
think that this idea of keeping quiet is also really frustrating to me because why should I shut up? I'm sick and tired of it. I hate the fact that like games are meant to be fun. Whether
Yeah,
you're, and I mean, this
exactly.
is for me, and I think we all feel the same way. Whether you're good or bad doesn't matter. If I come to play, whether I suck at the game, maybe I'm just learning, I should be allowed to come and play and I should have fun. And if I
Yeah.
suck and it's a team environment, of course you can be like, listen, you need to improve. You suck a little bit. I'll take it. Fair enough. But when it's the
I'll take
moment I'm in,
criticism.
yeah, if I'm a girl and it's straight away like, oh, you're going to be terrible, or can I get your phone number, or some sort of sexual connotation, I'm like, why can't you just let me play the game like everyone
Yeah.
else? Why can't
Yeah.
we all have fun? We're all here for the same reason. And I do think that in this community especially that needs to change, because like you said, we can report them on the platform, it's not changing. When we speak out about it on Twitter, it just becomes a fight. So what is the solution? What do
Yeah.
we do as women to make it stop?
That's the thing, is we as women can actually begin to, and I've seen this now already, and it's fantastic to see, is we as women are literally starting to stand up for each other, and it's
Yeah.
amazing
what
to
needs
see.
happen. Yeah.
But except for that, the thing is how we're going to make this shift, the mindset shift in this community, is to get the entire community to work together.
Yeah.
That's why we need to raise more awareness of. We need to raise more awareness. Listen here, your words are powerful. You can literally break someone. You don't know what their physical circumstance. You don't know if they are battling with a physical illness or a mental illness, or you, or if someone close to them passed away or anything. You don't know that.
Yeah.
And yes, why should you care? It's to show humanity.
I was to say, because you're just a decent, just be
Yeah.
a normal human being.
Yes.
And this whole bullshit about like people ridiculing others for like caring about things is absolute bullshit. Because like,
No.
if you want to care about some random that you met in a game, if they've had a bad day, do it. You know, be a decent human being. Don't let
Yeah.
some random dude to call other guys simps, whatever, say, oh, why do you care? Like, no,
Yeah.
if you care, you care. Don't like back
Yes.
down.
Exactly. I can actually, give the So yesterday I was on Twitter, right? And I'm really struggling with Twitter these past days. I'm way too much on it. But I saw a post on what's it, on Twitter, of a female streamer gamer that said she's making caramel and it's 7:20 in the morning.
Yeah, I saw that
Oh.
too. Yeah.
Yes. And I just commented. And all of a sudden, we are talking and we're having a gift war and all of that. We don't know each other at all. And then we started talking about, hey, but how's your day going? And then all of that. And my point with that is whether you're a female gamer or streamer, or whether you're new in the community or you've been so long in the it's literally, you can make so quickly, you can make friends if you are just basically you just respect it.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
the thing.
There's that as well, but there also comes in a lot of girls. I used to have it like hardcore, like have this internalized misogyny inside them, where like they have to be like, if they're the only girl in a group, for instance, right? And
Yeah.
another girl joins, they start freaking out, being bitchy, all
Yeah.
of that, and it doesn't come from them like hating the girl for who or being a hateful person. It comes from that insecurity that was installed from society, that, oh, this girl's gonna be prettier than you, this girl's gonna be better than you,
Yeah.
whatever, where like everyone is equal, like, you know, their beauty doesn't take away from yours, and so on. Like, if another girl joined the lobby, I'd be more comfortable, dude.
Yeah,
dude.
actually, because then
So it's just so funny that you said that. So obviously I work, right? So content creation.
Yeah.
So this is the thing that I do as a job. And what I learned so early on, and I'm going to be honest about this, when I started, I used to be super bitchy towards other girls. And the reason I was super bitchy to them is because I'd sit in these meetings and I'd be told that they were being super bitchy about me. And I was being told, I'd sit in these meetings and I'd hear someone say, oh, did you see so-and-so? She's the next tech, or she's much prettier than you. Oh, did you see so-and-so? She's so skinny. You're going to have to lose weight if you want to compete with her. And when you start, I mean, yeah, it happened. Oh, she's much better at the game than you. And this happened a lot. And what's ironic is I spoke to the woman who got me into sort of creating content, which is Pippa, and she said, you know what happened to her? Pippa and I are really good friends, and we used to sit in meetings and someone would say to me, oh, I heard Pippa can't stand you. And then I'd phone Pippa afterwards and I'd be like, what? And Pippa would be like, yeah, I heard the same thing. And I do think, I don't think it happens all the time, but I think that this need to pit us against each other
Mm,
comes
Yes.
from men.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they make us believe that there can't be more than one girl in the space. That
Yeah.
there can't be more than us. Is that there's space for one of you, and if anyone else comes in, this is bad news. And this happens a lot.
Mm,
Yeah.
And like
Yeah.
I've seen it happen more and more now. I've learned as I got older, I realized what was actually going on, and I backed off. But we still laugh about it. I mentioned Shani. I mean, she's one of my closest friends. Pippa is one of my closest friends. Even now, we will come out of situations where someone will sit and say, "Oh, I heard Shani and you can't stand each other," or "I heard Pippa hates you," and we'll phone each other and laugh. But I do feel that for me, it's a fear of maybe it's a fear of the men having more than one woman in there. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it with girls in the gaming industry as well, where you'll have a girl and she'll be playing really well with the guys, and another girl will come in, and next thing those two girls are fighting. And I've seen it from the outside now, and I was like, we need to understand as women. Obviously, we're not all going to get on. Don't get me wrong. Like we're human beings. Like some people are going to rub you
Yes.
up the wrong way. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I also think we need to
Whether you're
realize, like,
male or female, it's
yeah,
going to
it is what
happen,
it is.
yeah.
But I really do think that we need to understand that like we've got to stop hating people for the sake of hating them, and we need to accept the fact that like exactly what Severe was saying, like sometimes it is this like weird misogyny that society has told you that you're the only one that's allowed. Like
Yeah.
and I see Bebo's saying what is the solution. So the
Yeah.
first solution I think is understanding that there is space for more than one person, whether it be streaming, whether it be playing games, whatever.
Yeah.
And two, I also just think as women, I don't think we all need to be running around in a circle singing Kumbaya and holding hands. Don't get me wrong.
No, definitely not.
But I
Yeah.
do think that maybe sometimes when we see, because I've seen it, I've seen the slut shaming. I've seen people sharing WhatsApp conversations with no context, shitting on another woman.
Mm,
And now my new thing is, don't say that to me. Like literally, don't come and talk to me about it. I don't know her, and I don't want to know about it. Or why do you feel comfortable saying these horrible things about her? Do you know her? No, I don't want to see it. We need to do that. If we just turn on and say, we don't, as all of us stand up and say, you know what, we actually want to feed that, we're not interested, then they've got no one to share it with, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like the amount
Yeah.
of times I haven't even met a girl in a scene and I've heard she doesn't like me, or like, you know, she's been talking shit about me, and I'm like, I've never met her before, but
I don't.
okay. And then
Yeah.
instantly though, that's in my mind that this girl has now been talking bad about me. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
And-
be so much more on edge when meeting her, or
Yeah.
something like that. And it just comes down to you having the courage to go up to someone and confront them if you feel you have issues with them, and say, yo bro, what's up? And just get past it. And if they don't like you, they don't like you. Not everyone does. You know,
Yeah.
you can move
Yeah.
on, but at least you know, and there's not just that tension and drama like sitting.
mm.
Yeah.
I think like on another note though, well, on the same line, but another note, like I've noticed a lot of people have pointed out the fact that you like women want equality, but then when they get treated like a man, then we go crying. And I think that is a very big point where it's what I've seen from it. It's more women that say that. And I don't know if
Yeah,
they're saying it to
actually.
kind of like feel like I'm still one of the guys, like make me stand out from all the other women that you want to send to the kitchen or whatever. But I think it's so ridiculous that you think that if we're crying about being told to go kill ourselves and you're not worth it and you're not pretty enough and things like that, it's our fault because we want gender equality.
That
Like
should
I
be
think
equal
that's
for anyone.
shocking. Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm.
Mums, I don't know if you're referring to something specific that was commented.
There are a lot of
Um,
things were commented. Yeah.
Yes, a lot of things were with the whole situation. And anyway, but I completely agree because and the fact that it's now seen as yeah, but we're playing victims. We as female gamers are playing victims. It's not that.
Mm-mm.
It's not
Mm.
that. This is the reason and what I said about this podcast as well is the reason for this is actually to make the community more aware of listening. This is what is happening.
Yeah.
We need to actually step up and speak out about it. We can't just mute them
Yeah.
anymore. It's not the solution anymore.
No.
And then the thing is we this is a community movement that has to happen,
Yeah.
meaning the entire community needs to be able to unite and to actually decide, each individual in the community,
Yeah.
whether you want to condone this.
And you know what's like the saddest thing is when that whole Pike thing went down and he called us all degenerates. Um, it wasn't even shocking to me. Like to the guys seen, they defended us fucked up, but I was like, degenerate's not
Yeah.
even partly the worst thing I've been called
Exactly.
or something. I was like,
Yeah,
It's
It's
laughable.
just like on a daily basis that
Like-
happens, and like we're so used to it.
Yeah,
that
like
it
that-
doesn't bother us that more anymore.
exactly.
That was like a
That's
level
the
1
thing, like,
insult.
It shows that lack of them understanding what we actually go through a day. Because if they thought that was
Yeah.
like bad, then gosh.
yeah,
I
and
remember one specific instance. I used to stream, and I was streaming this one horror game, and all of a sudden, this guy comes into my chat and told me I look like I get raped by my dad.
what?
Yeah. So I was just like, okay, cool, but like this is the kind of bullshit we have to
Yeah.
just deal with. Because I can ban him, cool. Now
Mute
nothing
him.
happens to him. Goes to
Exactly.
a different chick and says the exact same thing.
Yeah, and we need to realize this is definitely not okay. Like, would you tell a person that in actually would you tell
Yeah, would you say it
a
to my
girl
face?
in your
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the
Yes.
thing. That's
Can I just ask, like, would you say that to your sister or your mother?
Yeah, or anyone you care about, like you wouldn't, and
No.
you just have to look at people like online. They are people. They're not just
Yeah.
names, whatever.
yeah.
They
Yeah.
are actually people sitting there behind a computer.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing.
Even hackers, for instance. Hackers
Mm.
obviously are shit and whatever, but they're still people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, what they're
True.
doing is disgusting, but that doesn't mean you need to degrade them and tell them to go kill themselves and whatever. Tell them like it's really shit. If they're on your team, kick them, all of that. But like at the end of the day, everyone is a person and everyone deserves that basic human decency.
yeah, yeah. No, completely. And the thing is the term that I heard that was for me brilliant. Sorry, I'm not going to give away. Was keyboard warriors. I was like,
Yeah.
what? And then I was completely like blown away, and it truly is something like that. It's people are seeing this and yeah, you know what, I'm viewing this on my screen, there's no one around me, yeah, it's I can say whatever I want, and doesn't matter who you are, the person that you are speaking about or to is still a person.
Yeah.
Speak to them as if they were sitting in and yes, not everyone is going to going to like each other, not
Yeah.
agree on everything, but like how would you resolve a situation in real life? Like if me and someone like if we're not agreeing on something, I would keep quiet, and then I would be like, okay, I understand, I don't agree with you, but I understand why you're saying that.
Agree to disagree.
Yes. That let's say that now in an online situation. Just because the person isn't in front of me, it doesn't mean that I can tell them, "Yeah, you're a stupid piece of shit."
Yeah.
I wouldn't tell that to anyone that's in front of me. Why is it okay to do that online?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah,
But I've noticed a lot of the bullying comes from insecurity. You'll find
Definitely.
a lot of the, like, I know
Unfortunately.
this is such a like a high school thing, like oh they're just jealous or whatever, but it is. It's and they won't even notice. Like it just comes from them being insecure. They're not good enough. They're not funny enough. They're not like entertaining their friends enough. Some shit like that.
Yeah.
And they find that oh I was mean to this person and people laughed. Let me do that. and they
Mm.
continue that, and it becomes not it's not who they are, but it became their coping mechanism to try and get that attention, to try and get that like affirmation from others. And it's just something you need to acknowledge, and the first step is realizing you do it and just being like, okay, no, I need to be a better person.
Um, I completely agree with you. The thing is also is like guys are like super nice. Some guys are super nice with a girl when
Yeah.
they hear you're a girl in game. And then you actually get guys that are nice to a girl that's not simping in the bad context, and that's not completely toxic just because you're a girl. And actually, you think, yeah, but this guy is nice, and then everything just goes down south. Of yeah, but send me a picture of what you look like, or can I get your number and anything. And if you dare tell them, like, sorry, this is my boundary now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to send you a photo. I'm not going to send you my number. That's when they get extremely actually toxic, and that's when they would comment things like yeah, it's something that I've actually witnessed that was so not okay was, yeah, I hope you get raped tonight.
Yeah. I've seen
And
that.
it was like,
Yeah.
what, how is this okay?
Mm.
Just
Yeah.
because the
No one says
girl
anything
said,
about it. Yeah.
yeah, just because the girl said, Leslie, here's my boundary. I'm sorry.
Mm.
This is my boundary.
Mm. They don't
And
like rejection. That's their way to retaliate against rejection, trying to make you feel even worse.
Yeah. It's an
So
r/nigga kind of thing.
insecurities, man.
yes,
But
but
like,
we need to get that. Really, we need to, and that's why I say this community, hopefully with this entire thing, yes, we're starting with female gamers,
Mm.
the cyberbullying that the female gamers are going through. Yes, because at this stage, it's as if it's okay to like tell a girl, yeah, you look like you get raped by your dad. It's
yeah.
so
But
not okay.
it
Mm.
comes yeah, it comes from that thing where though like the basis of women is judged on their virginity, and the basis of men is how many girls they can sleep with. So it comes down to like girls will always like be seen as like, let's say, whores or sluts or whatever.
Yeah.
In the instance, like, I mean, fuck, I've heard rumors about me with people I haven't even met in my entire life.
Even
Same,
me.
same, yeah.
Even me.
Same.
If I play with a guy on stream, and literally just play with a guy on stream, within 3 days I've heard about how we're sleeping together.
Exactly, and you're just like,
It's
And I mean, I know Ninja said this once, and everyone was very upset. Where he said the reason he doesn't play with with women streamers is because he respects his wife too much. And everyone, I still remember the internet lost their mind and was like, "You're disgusting" or whatever. But I understand now, in our tiny community and the experience I've had, I understand why he said that, because I play with someone, or I play with them in the evening or whatever. With my significant other, as you can see right behind me, he
yeah,
can hear the entire conversation, but 2 days later, I'm sleeping with them or something's happening or whatever else. And for
Yeah.
me, that's really frustrating. And I understand why Ninja said that, because I don't want to have to deal. I'm lucky. So my significant other really doesn't care. Thank goodness. Like, he hears all of this and he just laughs. But I can imagine that
some
it might, someone phoning him or him hearing it all the time. At some point, it gets a little bit much. I don't think he'll ever
Yeah.
believe it. But at one point, someone's going to stand up and say, you know what? Actually, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
yeah.
And I
And
do
it
think that
actually-
needs to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you actually, it's people are spreading rumors and they don't understand that it's ruining people's lives.
Dude,
Um,
they're impostering on us. That's all they're doing.
But guys, I mean, we could spend the next 3 hours talking about this. The real question is,
Yeah.
what do we do moving forward? What can we do? How do we fix this?
That is an excellent question.
I feel like
Um,
people need to stop like backing off from fights. Like, I mean, go for it, like, fuck, if you have to like keyboard warrior, some keyboard or something, but stand up for yourself. Don't let guys just say, hey, nah, you know, you sluts or whatever. Be like, no, fuck you. Like, that's totally wrong to say. And you're a disgusting human being for saying it. And like, stand up for yourself. Don't like just mute them and like whatever. Because they're gonna keep doing that. They're gonna do it to girl after girl after girl. So they need to actually feel that like, hey, I'm talking to a person here. They're actually like responding. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm just not gonna respond because they're like trying to get that response.
Yeah,
Give
or
them, like,
I do agree with you, but I also disagree because I think some girls, like, we're all pretty confident, right? You can see we're all chatting, but some girls aren't. So some girls, when that happens, they don't want to speak up. They don't want to confront. For me, I think if you're strong enough, you should speak up and say, hey, you know what? That's not cool. Don't do that. But I also
Yeah.
do think, and this for me is the most important, is until if you are in a lobby and you see someone being racist or you see someone being
Yeah.
sexist, whether it be in chat or in text chats or voice chats,
Yeah.
if every single person, it doesn't have to be a fight, you don't have to start name calling. I really just feel that everyone in that group needs to say, that is not acceptable.
Yeah.
Because if everyone says it, that person feels uncomfortable. We've seen it in Siege where there's been a couple of times where I've been playing and someone's come in and been blatantly racist or blatantly sexist. And I'm lucky, I'd like to think that my group of friends have the same standards. So every single one of us is like, dude, that's not cool. And almost always the
Yeah.
person either apologizes and goes, well, I didn't mean it like that, or they keep quiet. I don't think we can change them because we can't reach every single person, but we can definitely
Yeah.
shut them up.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
But we can't do that
Exactly.
ourselves because if I'm the only one or Saveer's
Exactly.
the only one saying, hey, dude, that's not cool when someone's going at her in a game, then it just becomes a big joke. Whereas if everyone stands up, and you don't have to put your mic on, just go in the voice chat and be like, not cool.
Yes, exactly. That is exactly what the conclusion of this entire thing is we, and I've said this previously as well, and I'm going to keep saying it. It's we as a community need to start speaking up about things like this. We can't. It's not going to make any difference if we as one person try to tell someone, yo, you know what, this is right. It's we as a community need to stand together and actually, like you said, if it's in a lobby, listen, dude, this is not okay.
Yeah.
Kick the person or then definitely confront the person, but kick the person. And you know, if the second time someone gets kicked for the same reason, for being racist or whatever, they are going to feel rejected, and they're actually going to feel like yeah, nobody wants to play with me. And
Exactly. And forcing them to realize.
yes, exactly. And that's only something that can happen if we as a community change our mindset of, yeah, just mute them. Because I've seen so many comments on, yeah, just mute them.
Just ignore
or,
it.
Yeah, or just ignore it. You don't know them.
Or it's just man talk or whatever.
Or it's a
It's
thing
just
of,
banter. If I
Yeah.
have to hear that one
oh
more
my
time.
god.
And I'm completely, like, don't get me wrong, I'm completely open to banter. My friends know if they played with me. If I suck and you give me a hard time for sucking, I'll take it. Like, we'll all
Yeah.
laugh. If I suck,
Definitely.
you can, and I give it just as good as I get it. But when you give me a hard time because I have boobs, or you get vulgar and like Severe was saying, and you start threatening to rape people and some of the other things and the slut shaming and all the other stuff I've seen, then it's a whole different ballgame. Banter's fine. Banter consists of us having a giggle, giving each other a hard time, but there is a line, and I'm sick and tired of people using it's just banter as justification for being absolute pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. If like a joke they say hurts you, like fucking it can, and let it. Like, don't let people say, oh no, it was just a joke. Why are you so hurt? Why are you being so sensitive? No, if it hurts you, they owe you an apology. Like, it doesn't work like that. They don't get to tell you what hurts you and what doesn't. And it goes with
Yes.
racism, sexism, all of it. If
Exactly.
you are a person of color and you feel that someone has been racist towards you, they should say, hey, listen, I didn't mean it that way, or they should apologize or at least speak
Mm.
about it. They don't have that right to tell you that it's not offensive or you
Yeah.
shouldn't be upset.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I completely agree. And the thing is the entire thing about us just thinking, yeah, but you know what? Like Sam said, it's banter. When does banter actually go from banter to cyberbullying?
Mm,
And that's exactly what you said. Is it's if something that if I give you a hard time and you know what, yeah, your shirt, what, and you actually, and if I overstep a line,
yeah.
it's also my responsibility to tell you, listen here, whoa, that was,
Yeah.
we can't do
Mm.
the whole thing of, yeah, but that's cyberbullying, but you didn't tell the person, yeah, but that was
Yeah.
a bit too far.
Yeah. You need
Um,
to be able to say what they
You
did
need to
wrong and how
communicate.
you feel about it. Otherwise, you
exactly,
Mm.
can't do anything.
Yeah, because some people might
exactly.
handle it, but other people won't. So
Yeah, and look,
Mm.
if you tell them and they're like if they have a really bad response, fuck them. They didn't care about you anyway and they weren't gonna. So, you don't need that in your life. So
Yeah.
just be like, nah,
Mm.
you're a toxic human being. I don't want to talk to you and just leave it. Like let them know
Mm.
though. Don't just like block them or whatever. Let them know, hey, you're like fucking toxic or whatever. I don't want
mm.
to speak to you. Let them know that what they're doing and saying is repulsing you and you just
Yeah.
know.
I feel like like I've like obviously I feel like the best thing that you can say to someone like that is like you saying you don't like I don't appreciate you saying that towards me and it hurts my feelings. It'll ultimately make them feel bad for saying that and they
Yeah,
would
and then
apologize
like
and be
look,
like I'm sorry if I made you feel that way.
yeah, and look, psychologically, unfortunately, some people won't feel bad. Like it's just part of them. They don't have that empathy. They don't, and like, unfortunately, there are people like that, but not everyone is like that. And
Mm.
saying your mind, like, ultimately, is the only way to even make a small change.
Yeah. I think like on Flower's point as well about saying, listen, I don't appreciate that, and then hopefully they apologize. I think that works when it's one person. But I think a
Yeah,
lot of cyberbullying doesn't happen individually. It's a
it
gang,
doesn't.
dude. It's either a
It
pair
really
or
is.
it's more
I
than two. Because the thing is,
Yeah.
yeah.
bullying in general comes in numbers. People don't have the balls
Always.
enough. Sorry, mom and dad, and everyone's moms and dads. People don't have the balls to actually stand alone and say blah, 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 blah. But if you're in a gang and you're like paired up, it's easy to banter back and forth on
Because you have that
tuning a
support.
person. But if it's one on one, I will shut you down easily. But now I need to
Yeah.
fight, defend myself against five people, four people, two people. It's
Yeah.
so much more difficult to try and change their
Mm.
minds. But if you have a support system and you have people tuning them back or whatever on behalf of you, then that's amazing. That will definitely help. But it's so much more difficult because
Yeah.
bullying
Yeah,
happens
And
in
also
numbers.
like
Yeah, well,
Flower?
I think
sorry,
she.
I like
Oh,
that.
okay.
Um I think also like there's going back on the just banter topic. Um, I think there's like I would accept banter from people I know and like my friends,
Yeah.
but there's a part where I don't want to accept banter from just random strangers because ultimately they're just using it's just banter as an excuse to
Yeah.
break you down,
mm,
Yeah. And
where
look, I
it's
want to
not
give
actually acceptable.
an example of something at work. So we were in an MM once, and Jono was in it, and obviously he's part of ATK. And one of their players, it was a whole team of an org, and one of their players had said the K word in the beginning. Um, and we hadn't mentioned it until like the end when like they were asking why we were ignoring them and why we wouldn't talk to them and whatever. And we said it's because you were racist, you used the K word and whatever. And as soon as the rest of the team were like made aware that, hey, this guy said this, it's not okay, the org owner literally added Jono and apologized and said it's been dealt with and I'm sorry and whatever. So bringing it to people's attention is very important.
I agree.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah. The sorry, I'm just seeing the chat as well.
I know.
Ignore that.
guys.
Ignore that.
Hectic.
I don't like. I
Guys.
just think that like ignore that because like that's not really the point here.
Yeah, but
Yeah. The hectic shit.
that's the thing is people actually say stuff to everyone that they encounter online, and there was now some comments or some tweets that went out about how we need to limit our as like it needs to be a membership thing. That's not how it's going to work.
No.
As soon as you're online, you're a part of the community.
Yeah.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Whether you are, I'm not gonna give my age away. Whether you're my age, whether you're 11, I've actually met 11-year-olds that play CS that are
Yeah, dude, I
so
knew a
much better than
6-year-old
me.
once.
I have an 8-year-old friend.
I do
He
think-
gave me a mic. Like.
Thanks, MJ.
I do think like what you said there where I mean I don't think the membership thing works. I think the reason we all came is because we don't want to feel excluded and it was a place where we all came because it was a place where we felt
Exactly.
included.
Exactly.
That membership thing is dumb. I want to just put it out there from my side. Obviously, if there is someone in the community who feels they're being bullied, who feels there's someone that's behaved inappropriately, I'm happy if you don't feel comfortable. You can DM me. Midnight knows that you can get me on most platforms. You can DM me and you can say to me, this has happened, especially if it's someone in an org or someone who's a bit more prominent. I'm happy for you to reach out to me and say, this is the person. I am happy to go to the
Yeah.
org on your behalf. I know most of them and say, guys, this is going on, sort it out. So I'd like to put that out here now for the site. If there is someone that's making you feel uncomfortable and you can identify that person. While we've been having this conversation, I've just got a DM on Twitter from someone saying that they have a video of someone from COD being inappropriate. I obviously don't want to be, I don't want to be the cyberbully police, but I'm simply saying, if you feel that you can't have the conversation with the player or the organization, and it is someone who's prominent, I'm happy to do
But-
that for you. So I'm offering that today on this chat.
But Sam, thank you for that. Like honestly, that I think that is this says a lot about the type of person that you are, and that's honestly just someone DMing you about something that they've experienced that they feel that they need to speak up about is also fantastic. If this is what the result is of this entire thing. By all means, Sam, I know you are busy as well. If anyone else, so I've now with this entire thing opened up myself up to taking on cyberbullying. So you can also DM me. I will assist any way I can. Sam, if you want to refer someone to me or something like that, also by all means. But I honestly, I think if this is the outcome of like this podcast series, because we're going to do a series, because cyberbullying is not just going to go away. We need to make that shift in our community. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is not just hype it up for 2 days and then everyone's going to forget about it again. We need to start putting it out there. We need to actually, that's why I say that it's a movement. It's a thing of
It's
we
not
need.
just a thing that happens overnight. It takes a while to happen.
It would be fantastic if it can happen overnight.
Yeah, it would
By
be
all
amazing.
means, yeah. But the thing is we can't just now. Okay, we spoke about it. Okay, done. It doesn't work like that. It's an ongoing thing. And if this is the result, Sam, you getting DMs or me getting DMs, I've actually gotten a WhatsApp now as well. Scary stuff. But if this is the result, imagine what we as a community can do.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to normalize talking about this. And the thing is, someone did mention in the chat earlier as well. I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but they spoke about starting with like the younger generations, because the thing is, you're going to create a ripple effect. And like putting aside the female gamers only, I've had to so many times when I'm solo queuing or just like two people or whatever, and I get like a random young kid in my lobby, they get tuned as much as the female gamers.
Yeah.
Because
They get
are you a
called
girl or are you a little
squeakers
squeaker?
and-
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
I think it's so sad because they're still developing.
It's not like they had a choice. in
Exactly.
their
So
voice.
I mean, every dude's voice at one point in their lives was a little squeaker voice.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
do you have to shape them into thinking, okay, toxic behavior is normal behavior?
Yeah. and
So
they'll
that
use the
needs to
excuse
change.
That, oh, people said that to me. I'm fine. Whatever.
Exactly.
But
Yeah,
that comes
It's
down
a
to
re-
you. Where you know how it
exactly.
felt. You change it.
It's a ripple effect.
Yeah.
So as soon as you help them to show them, listen, I'm guiding you. This is, and that's what I respect about my dad so much. He will take the whole community under his wing, and he'll say, listen, don't tune him. Yes, he's 8 years old. Yes, he can be annoying sometimes or whatever, but he's growing up. He's still
He's
and
just a kid.
and you know what? My dad
Yeah.
at sorry, Dad, I'm saying your age. At 55, he gets bullied. Even my dad gets cyberbullied, and they tune him. No, you're an old man. What are you, 16? You're playing Fortnite? So what? He was guaranteed this age. We aren't. So I mean, I don't know
Yes.
why you're trying to bully an old man for having fun with his life. So
Yeah.
it just shows that everyone gets cyberbullied. But if you start
Yeah.
like guiding the younger generations into showing them, listen, even if you do get bullied, don't accept it, fight back, but
Yeah.
show that you're not worth that. You're not gonna step down to their level because you're better than that.
Exactly, and again what Sam said is gaming. I can't understand this in at like I've only recently played online. I think the last 2 or 3 years. But my entire life I've been gaming since I was 11, and it was actually something fun. It was something to escape your reality, to enjoy, and to actually like you get people that are into first person shooter games, you get people that are into like strategy games, like believe it, the Sims, even I've been
Yeah,
playing The
I'm
Sims
a
my entire
huge
life.
simulator fan, dude. Like I will
Yeah.
buy like fighter simulator and shit.
Yeah, my bank account is so grateful that I'm only playing Counter-Strike at this stage. So yeah, we're not talking about the skins that I'm already eyeing, but anyway, the thing is it's supposed to be something that you enjoy. It's supposed to be something that when you get home from school or work, or you have a weekend, or even if you have 1 hour and you feel like, you know what, this is my escape from all of life's bullshit.
I feel like these people, like, you don't know what people's surroundings are. You don't know what their situations are.
Exactly.
So gaming is like an escape from that, and it makes them feel like they, they have something good, and they have
Yeah,
this thing that they can do and forget about everything else.
exactly. And the thing is
Yeah.
also, sorry.
No, go.
And the thing is if every one of us, if every single one of us just see it as, it's not only me that wants to escape this bullshit reality around me. This person
a
is
lot of
also, this
people.
person is also, this
happens
person is
to
also.
Every day.
How can we not then grow as an amazing community that actually support each other, because we are literally deciding to do the exact same thing because of the exact same reason. to
Yeah.
escape reality because we enjoy it.
Exactly. And I just wanted to go on one thing on the cyberbullying front and everything.
Mm.
Like it's sad, but it does happen where eventually you just, uh, get used to it.
Mm.
It's like at this point, it's
True.
gotten to that where it's something we've had to do as a community up until now, where we've just had to get used to it and whatever. Like, I remember my first comp. I was pulled, I think, into an MG game, and the guys bullied me so much I cried and left. And now if someone says something to me, I'm just like, yeah, fuck you, okay. Like it gets to
Yeah.
that point, and it shouldn't be normal to accept that kind of abuse and that kind of word. So yes, in the beginning, like, yeah, it can feel very personal, but ultimately you have to remember it's not. They're just being toxic pieces of shit, and you need to put them in their place, and you
Mm.
need to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, but that's the thing also that Sam said.
Yeah.
If you aren't comfortable enough, because I know a 12-year-old female gamer that is amazing. She is currently outranking me, and I've been playing this game longer. Anyway, um, she doesn't speak in game at all.
Mhm.
And then, like Sam said, if she dares open up her mouth to make a single call out,
Yeah.
then um, it's a thing of she gets tuned a lot. And
Especially on
that's
top
the
of that
thing.
because she sounds young.
Yeah.
Yes, and the thing is people would instantly comment on that. And luckily, me being the bitch that I am, I tell them, listen here, she's like my little,
Yeah.
and I'm not
That's
going
good.
to
Yeah.
let you speak to her
Yeah.
like that.
Mm.
And that's the thing. Even if I didn't know her, I would still stand up for her, and that's what we as a community
Dude,
need
I
to
feel
do.
like it's here where basic human decency and your morals come in. Where
Exactly.
it's just like, you don't want to be treated like that. So why are you treating other people like that? And if you know, like, you're someone or you're friends with this person that are getting like attacked, why are you just like shutting up and not doing anything and not stating that this is wrong and you should apologize?
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing. I see what Alex is mentioning as well. Like parents should be more involved in their children's online communication. And I so badly want to agree with that fully. And I just think it's difficult for parents to do that, especially like when your kids are gaming. The kids don't want anything, like they don't want their parents to have anything to do with that. But I
Yeah.
do strongly believe that raising your kids makes such a powerful impact on how
Yeah.
they treat
Yeah.
people, because I
True.
know we can't say that you are who you are based on your parents alone. Definitely not. But the thing
No.
is, they
It
do
gets,
guide
yeah.
you, because I mean, I understand divorce. I understand losing a parent. I get that that influences your upbringing as well. Behind the scenes, you go to your mom and dad and you're like this goody two shoes. I mean, that's still not morals. That's still not anything to do with your upbringing, because I was raised where I won't get treated like crap, or I'll I won't stand for it, but I was bullied since I was like 5 years old. Like I was punched in the stomach, even like physically, emotionally, mentally. I was bullied my whole life, but that didn't make me a bad person. So how I was raised to be strong, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna treat
True.
people the way that they treated me just because I'm gonna retaliate, because that's all I know. I want to be
And
better than that.
that's another thing as well. I want to say you can only blame your actions on your parents for so long. There
Yes.
comes a time where you have to be aware that how your parents raised you may not have been the way that you should
Right.
be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
Parents are human. Like, let's say, unfortunately, you have sexist parents or racist parents.
Mm,
It is up to you to
To
realize
change
this is
them.
wrong and
Mm.
exactly.
change.
Yeah.
Exactly. You can't just say, "Oh, well, my parents raised me this way."
Mm-mm.
That's
You
not
can't just normalize it because my parents were racist or my parents were sexist. You can't just normalize it because of that.
exactly.
Yes. But the thing is guys, is also it's not just the parent. My I completely believe in you as a person. play a role in everyone you
Yeah.
meet in their lives.
Definitely.
Meaning that if someone I know is going through a difficult time, I support them. Doesn't matter regarding what, I try to support them.
Yeah.
The person, let's say the 60 boy or the whatever, it's not just the parents, it's every single one that interacts with him.
Mm.
It's every single person, because you can have, and I've actually heard, like, someone actually shared this with me, is they had the shittiest upbringing ever. Their parents were not role models at all, which is extremely sad. But
Yeah.
they
It's
had
not
someone else that actually they looked up to, and it was a teacher. So it wasn't someone that was actually, you know what, a friend or an uncle
A relative.
that had to do with them very often, personally. It was a teacher, and just how the teacher portrayed themselves in front of the class and with all of that, and how the teacher actually showed respect towards this person. That person actually decided, you know what, I want to be like that person.
Yeah.
So it's not just
Yeah.
the parents, and
I
that's
feel
the
like
thing.
it's there where you meet some like some person in your life, whether it be a teacher, just a good friend, or anyone that you look up to, where you just make that mindset change and you are like, I don't want to be like this. I want to be good and I want to be a nice human being and I want to inspire people to be more like me or be more like that person or something.
Yeah, no,
I
Yeah.
feel like there's just
everything
people that
starts.
just hasn't met that people yet. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, but it's like almost everything. It starts with that awareness that hey, I could be toxic, or hey, this what I'm saying isn't right. It like it can come to a point where you'll just be like, oh, I'm not toxic, that's fine. But you need to look into your actions and be like, okay, what have I said to
Yeah.
people, and was it okay? What if someone said that to me?
Yes, and that's the thing, is we're not going to achieve that type of thinking in anyone, actually, just by, yeah, you know what, here's a post, here's a link, you know what, words hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not going to happen. But ladies, I really do appreciate everything that you guys have shared tonight, and I completely agree with um, us having to make a change actually in this community, and for the better, because we as a community need to stand together to make this actually a change, and to show that it's not okay. So I just honestly, I want to thank every single one of you, Severe, Flower, Sam, Mums, you awesome personal people. You English. You see, when your brain translates Afrikaans to English.
You're doing
Anyway,
I wish mine
Okay.
did that.
I do just want to say, I mean, I want to say a big thanks for getting me on here, reaching out. I really appreciate it. Like, it's been fantastic chatting to you guys as well. And again, like I said earlier, but I'm going to say it again. If you are getting bullied, feel free to reach out. Also, I know what it was like when I started. There were a lot of horrible things said about me that weren't true in the community, and I felt very alone. If you are in that space and you just want someone to talk to, maybe you don't want to out it or whatever, but if you just want to have someone who, because I didn't have this and I remember that, feel free to DM me, have that conversation, because I know it's hard. It's really shit. And also, I think for me, before I go, for anyone watching, I just want to say, just don't be an asshole. Like,
yes,
just be better.
be a
Yeah.
nice human being.
Yeah,
Like,
just be nicer. And if you can't, if you have a friend who's sending you messages, slut shaming a girl they found in the gaming community, or not even doing it themselves, telling you about the gossip in another WhatsApp group, if we all just say, hey, listen, we don't actually want to see that, that's not cool.
Yeah.
Like, the more people who do it, the better. So stand up for people in game. like Luna just said, just be lacquer, like please. But yeah, if you need someone to speak to, feel free to message me. And I really just hope. I know it's not like we keep doing this and the cyberbullying, it feels like it never ends. But I do think if more and more of us have these conversations, it will get better. So, Midnight, well done on organizing this. And I will definitely be supporting these in the future because I believe this isn't going to be the last one.
No, it's definitely not going to be the last one. Like you said as well, great. For 2 days, everything blew up and then nothing happened. So it's going to be a persistent matter. And like I say, the reason for me behind all of this is I don't want anyone else to have to go through being cyberbullied and being actually told to kill yourself, or even the things that came out in this just this conversation, because it's honestly, it breaks you. It's pain that you have enough bullshit in your own life to deal with, and then what something is supposed to be enjoyable gets ruined for you.
Exactly.
I didn't even want to play online games anymore. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is it's not okay anymore. It's not okay. Just mute them, or you know what? You don't even know them. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah.
That's not gonna change anything. It's not. So thank you, Sam. Really. And this is not going to be the. We're going to. I also, if anyone in the community has any other suggestions that we can actually create, other projects that we can create to raise even more awareness of this, by all means, DM me or Mims or any one of us that's in the chat here.
I'll always respond to my DMs.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a nice person.
I will try.
And I feel bad if I ignore people. Honestly. My
Yeah.
heart
So,
can't take that.
but this is a community.
I feel the same.
This is a community project in a what? English?
It's something we all
yeah,
need to
it's-
come together on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not only me or us, the ladies that's here or anything. It's our community.
Yeah.
We need to be able to make this difference.
Preach.
So, yeah. No. So, ladies, once again, really thank you for time and for raising your voice against us and just making the time out of your schedule. It's really, really amazing that you guys joined me in my insanity when I thought of this. But crazy idea. But
It was a great
hopefully-
idea. It wasn't crazy.
Not crazy.
okay, but agree to disagree. But hopefully this will be the start of something.
Yeah.
Amazing for the
Definitely.
community.
Definitely.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for all the viewers as well. Mums, once again, thanks for enabling us to use your channel.
An honor.
Such a star. And then Tickle, I promise I won't abuse my power.
Abuse. You got my phone number now, so I mean, chaos begins, right?
Okay, but I won't abuse it. I promise.
Okay.
Okay, but Severe Flower as well. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And yeah, I hope everyone has a splendid Tuesday evening, the rest of it at least. And thank you once more.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Alright, guys, thanks for
Thanks
joining.
for having us. It was an honor.
Yeah.
It was great.
And we'll do more. All right.
Oh yes.
Okay,
But
I'm
I do
keen.
have to go get ready. Enjoy, dudes.
thank
And
you.
thank
Same
you.
to everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Okay.
you. for the whole stream and doing this. Appreciate it.
We're gonna make waves,
Thanks.
man. We're gonna make
dude,
waves.
Okay,
Alright,
but
guys.
enjoy
girls.
everyone.
Have a
Bye,
lovely
Ciao,
guys.
ciao.
Cheers,
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Alrighty. So I just want to quickly say thank you to everyone. Oops. Oh wait, let me do this quickly. Guys, to everyone who joined, thank you so much. We all really appreciate it. So I just wanted to say like a final thank you and a goodbye. I'm sorry we didn't get to like respond to everyone individually, but yeah, I think this is definitely gonna be a start to something that's gonna hopefully create a ripple effect. Oh, Misty, no worries. We just discussed cyberbullying in the gaming community more towards female gamers, but we did speak about how, you know, as a solution as well, we need to focus on the younger generation. And, you know, Tech Girl also mentioned, I am going to link to her YouTube channel again. Oh, I lost it. Hold on. So if anyone does have something that they'd like to come forward about, but they don't want to do it on their own, you can speak to Sam, you can speak to me, you can speak to Luna, you can speak to anyone. Midnight Severe Flower, like we're all here for you guys, so don't worry about that. But yeah, I think it was a really good stream. I think this is something that something that needs to be brought up, and the awareness needs to be made normalized. We need to speak about this kind of stuff. But anyway, guys, yeah, yeah, and I appreciate that. I'm always here to listen. I'm probably the worst person to respond to messages, but if you come to me with problems and you just want to talk or whatever, I'm always there. So, yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it. And I'll check you for the next stream. Be like ya.